my video last night about blueprints.
Did I? Of course I did.
Okay, yeah.
And
Crazy.
you know,
I
think I'm most excited that they're actually going. Oh, TCG hasn't seen it. No, but I'm actually most excited for the fact that we get to keep our blueprints after they're resetting.
Yeah. I reckon they're definitely going to do the whole. Yeah, sorry, Scoriox. I'll watch it a bit later. I was finishing up my video.
It's a good vid. It's a good vid.
Yeah. Oh, I'm keen to see. I really hope that they do the like a scarce amount of blueprints. So the ones that you get in alpha, they're kind of going to stop after alpha. I think that'd be like a cool little treat for those who were started from the beginning. You know, like
that is actually the plan, but we'll table that for now.
Yeah.
That is literally what they're doing. It's a limited edition thing before the main game comes out.
Yep.
It's all explained in my video. All right.
Hey guys,
welcome back to the channel, everyone. Back to Augment. We have an awesome guest on today who's involved in a lot of different crypto projects.
Yo, is Reptar? Are you there?
I'm here.
Scoriox.
Sorry.
I did cut out.
Yeah, I think.
I was like, yo,
yeah, I think
what just happened? Yeah, and your face wasn't moving. You kind of stayed still. I was
all my screens went black just all of a sudden.
Yo, crazy.
Maybe I had a power outage. It was really weird. Okay. Sorry. What was I saying? So we are back on Augment with an awesome guest today. He's in quite a few different crypto communities. We're going to have some awesome takes today. There's going to be a lot of deep discussion about NFTs, NFT utility, and things like that. But first, we are going to touch on some other minor things. As always, thanks to Illuvium for sponsoring this channel, or sponsoring Augment and this show. At the moment, they just had their Illuvia talks, I think, just before. And they had their, Roger went on the channel and talked about Illuvatars, and they looked at a bunch of different stuff. Obviously, me and TSG will have lots of videos coming out, and maybe the Outfit Origins channel might even as well. So we'll talk about that briefly. But yeah, so that is awesome. So get involved with that. Go check out the Illuvium channel after you finish watching this. Obviously, don't forget to like and subscribe to all three of us. I'll chuck Reptar's YouTube in the description when I get the chance. I didn't actually quite realize there was one, but now I do. Okay, so TSG, anything you'd like to say before we jump into it?
No, I'm excited, man. I kind of told Reptar off camera that I hadn't really heard too much about them, but you clued me up, and I'm excited to get his takes on NFTs, where we're going, just everything in the space, because it's an interesting time for sure. And yeah, regarding the whole Illuvium thing, I'm super excited for Illuvatars. Like the Roger interview with Andrew, I'm so glad he's back doing those. But yeah, man, let's get into it. How's it going, Reptar? How are you going?
I'm great. Thanks so much for having me. You guys are great. Everything you guys have been doing, entire community has been kept up to speed by your channel and, you know, the knowledge that you guys provide. So shout out to you guys for everything you guys do in the community. And just really excited to be here, guys.
Yeah. Yo, I'll start, Scarks. I'll kind of ask you, Reptar. Man, one of the basic questions, right, that we have to ask is, how long have you actually been involved in crypto? What excites you most about the space? Like, tell us a bit about that story. How did you get involved in the whole thing?
So it's actually a really interesting story. I've been a game developer in Unreal for about 4 years now, and I was getting really heavily into game development for a long time, and I had 3 or 4 computers that I would use to render and do different things, and then the graphics card shortage happened, and I was trying to buy more equipment for design, and then I realized that graphics cards were selling for double SM, and it was just insane. And I'm like, why are these so expensive? And then I started looking into it, and I realized that people were mining and people were buying them to mine with. So that was back in, it started in around 2017. It got worse last year, but basically it was impossible to get graphs for a long time. There was a silicone shortage, supply chain issue. A lot of stuff was going on. So I realized like I have printing machines. So I started getting and I started using my gaming PC to actually mine. And so that kind of I started getting into NFTs after that because of Pluto Alliance actually. So Crypto is one of the cryptos in the space. He's got almost 2 million subscribers, and he started a NFT project called Pluto Alliance. From the of the solar system, and he generously gave away 100% of the YouTube revenue every month to Alliance. So just incredible utility got us into this entire space. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah. I mean,
it's cutting out every now and then,
but it's not. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we won't ask you to restart or anything. Yeah, but that's so interesting. So the whole Pluto Alliance thing. So that essentially, you said it was Bitboy. So Bitboy was giving away 100% of his YouTube AdSense. Is that what it is? YouTube revenue to Pluto Alliance holders. Yeah, wild.
Yes.
So we'll get into a lot of the Pluto discussion.
With a big channel like.
I think he has a delay for our voice as well.
No,
yeah, because there's always that little break.
Yeah, I've never seen that before. I'll tell you that much. All right,
like yo, we're laughing. He's just smiling. He's like, yo, what's going on?
He doesn't know yet. You'll hear it finally.
Take pauses in between.
Yeah. That's all good. So we'll get into the next thing. So we will cover the Pluto Alliance stuff a bit later because I think that's really interesting and I want to talk more about that. Also, I didn't actually realize that that's been happening for a long time. I thought that was a recent bit of utility. So we'll go into that later. But you are a moderator in several major crypto communities. How did you go about getting that role? And do you have any suggestions for people that might be in the chat or watch this video later and stuff like that on how they might be able to do that as well? We have quite a few people in the shiny shards, and what they do is we find kind of the ones that are most active, or at least Walking Feather focuses on finding the ones that are most active, and we promote them to higher roles and things like that. So it's definitely about contribution from what I've seen. But is there any other tips you'd like to pass on?
Yeah, that's actually a very great point. That's the best way that we have seen to do it is the most active community members, the best people who are really just active and trying to spread knowledge to other community members. Helping is very important. I think if somebody has a question, if they take the time to pop into the Discord and ask a question, that people, we want those people to try to help other community members. And really that's what I did to become a mod. I was constantly active in the community. I was helping people who had questions and just didn't really, understand crypto and really anything. And I think that's the biggest part of it, is because we want more people to come into the space. We want more people to learn. And we can't do that unless we help other people, So I think if you want to become a mod in your favorite project, I think the most important thing to do is help other people understand the project. And, if you see somebody saying something either not right or negative, maybe try to, throw in your 2 cents, help them out, help understand,
Yeah, I completely agree. And even on that, I think what you're saying is 100% true, is just provide value. And for those who I would say my somewhat tip, because I it's kind of how I kind of built a bit of a presence in Illuvium, was find something that you actually care about that isn't being covered yet. Like for me, obviously that was in Illuvium, it was the governance side of things, right? With the nominations with the election, no one had touched that yet. And if you can provide value like that in a community that you want, you find that opportunity and you jump on that and do it well, because doing a bad job isn't going to do anything. But if you can do that well, it really sets you up nicely, and it really allows you to branch out. So contribute, and also kind of keep your eye out on where the opportunities are and what you like, because being opportunistic for the sake of being opportunistic isn't sustainable. You actually have to care about what you're doing. But that would be my tip, adding on to that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll go on to the next
Absolutely.
one. Can you tell the audience?
This lag, that delay is hilarious.
Oh my god! All right. We just got to try and be mindful of it. All right.
I don't know. Just enjoy
I'm
it.
like,
Enjoy
you
it.
guys
It
are
is what it is.
dying
It
of
happens.
laughter,
Because I just finished saying this full thing, and it's like, all right, there was a second pause. We waited for you. Scoriox started speaking, and then you just came in after.
All right. Can you tell the audience a bit about Alpha Origins, what it's all about, and maybe some favorite projects? Do as much shilling as you want, because I think your passion about these projects that you're involved with Alpha Origins is really contagious. So,
Well, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. And yeah, we're just gonna go with it. We're gonna go with it, guys. So Alpha Origins is interesting. It's a lot of the members over at Alliance, we would just absolutely be degenerates till 3:00 in the morning. We'd be in voice chat, just talking about our favorite projects. Like, all right, what are you guys investing in? All right, what are we doing? And it really evolved from there. Pluto Alliance has been this great, pot for different communities, different ideas. So me and 7 other members of Pluto Alliance, we co-founded Alpha Origins, which is a guild or that we run, and we focus primarily on play to earn games in those space. And we decided to take $250,000 and invest it into metaverse projects that we think are going to be around, not in the next 2 years, not in the next 3 years, but for the long term. And, so we really wanted to focus in because there's so many projects out there. It's impossible to really kind of cover all of them. So, but we're going to try. So what we do is we go into we research projects. We really find what we think is going to last throughout the bear market. And we started just acquiring all these different lands and things like Sandbox, Decentraland. We picked up some other side as well as Ethereum hours. And it would be quicker to list the metaverse we aren't a part of right now, because we really wanted a good spread. And we found out about Illuvium, we were just completely blown away, because everything from the utility of token to the tokenomics community, the team, and that's not even getting into the graphics and the gameplay. I mean, it's just, we truly believe that Illuvium is going to be a game changer in the space and one of the best play to earn projects that you could possibly invest in. And we were really excited by what we read. So we're involved in many metaverse projects, but we also are involved in
Just want to make sure that yeah. All right, cool. No, that's awesome. And actually I want to dive in a little bit.
That's all good.
That, again, I asked, we roll. I want to ask you a question as well, because I asked you this kind of off the stream, but I kind of want to readjust the question, because you're in so many projects. Like you say, there's so many of them. The truth is, not all of them are gonna like survive. Like it just is the truth of it objectively. Like you can't have that many that really do, like you can't have all of them do really well like that. It's just not a logical thing to happen. So with that being said, what are the, like, let's say top five? What are, because again, I'm enjoying your passion. I really want to see that passion kind of bottlenecked and focus into the top five. Like, what are the top five metaverse projects? Because I'm like, I've got my ideas, but I really want to know what you think. What are the top five metaverses that you're looking at, that you guys are looking at, that you think are actually going to be here in the next 5 to 10 years, that actually have the legs to run that long?
That's a very good question, man. Because I mean, like you said, there's probably hundreds of different metaverse projects at this point, and it's really impossible to kind of boil them all down. But I will give you my top five picks. And I'll just real quick and my reasonings for them.
Yeah, perfect.
So I wouldn't quite consider Illuvium a metaverse at this point. So I don't know if I would include that, although Illuvium is probably my most bullish project in crypto. I will say that it is the one that I am the most passionate about, and the one that I think is going to survive. If I had to bet all my horses on one race or whatever, it would be Illuvium. As far as metaverse, I really think that the other side is going to do some really cool stuff. I mean, obviously they're the biggest NFT, and their land, I'm not sure they have built out the utility for it yet, but I'm sure that whatever they decide to do is going to be huge. I mean, they really are one of the biggest in the space. So I think that the other side is going to do very well. Although it does have its problems. We saw what happened during the mint and the insane gas battle that ensued. Another one I guess I would have to say would be Sandbox, just because as far as like graphics, I'm not super excited about it, to be honest. I know that there's a lot of influencers in the space that are involved in it, and there's a lot of big names that are being brought to it, but I truly think that for the real metaverse that everybody wants is going to be built in Unreal or Unity or one of these big game engines that can really power what people think when they think of the metaverse. So one metaverse that I'm really, really bullish about that not a lot of people have even really heard of is something called Starship Universe. And they are also building in Unreal Engine 5. And for most people in the industry, how incredible Unreal Engine 5 is, Illuvium is also it was built with Unreal Engine 4, but they moved over to Unreal Engine 5, which was incredible. And you guys can all see the results of that as far as graphics in the game and all the leaks they've been sharing. But why I'm so bullish on Starship Universe is because it's launching in a month. So it's coming very soon. It's going to be available for Oculus Quest before Facebook's metaverse is even launched. And what they're doing is they're making really moves in the space. They're partnering with other metaverses and communities because Unreal, and they have the ability to bring games into their metaverse. So I can't speak too much about them because of non-disclosure agreements and such, but a lot of projects are going to be ported into the Starship Universe ecosystem. So I'm very excited about them as well. So for two more, I guess I'm gonna go with not Sandbox, excuse me, Decentraland, because they are doing, again, they're a big name in the space, but they're lower on they're lower on my list because it's a cool idea what they're doing. It's just when I think of the metaverse, I don't necessarily want to play Minecraft. I want true VR capabilities. I mean, I have a few VR systems, and some of these experiences in VR are truly incredible, like just mind blowing. I spent 20 minutes looking at the wood grain of a desk. So I think that for these metaverses to succeed, they need to be very realistic and be able to incorporate other metaverses.
Yeah.
I think that's an interesting topic because I'm a little bit opposed to what you're saying, in a way that Sandbox is built so the community can get involved. Scope here is really, really important. Things like, what's that big Starship game? Oh, I can't even remember. Star Atlas or whatever it's called. Its scope is way too. I think it's way too big for what it is. Right. Something like the Sandbox is a different premise, whereas it builds something that allows the community to build their own stuff, and that is the only way to expand something really, really quickly. But you're right. The VR experience is a big one for me as well. And I've actually played Minecraft in VR. And you know what? I suggest you give it a shot. It's not as bad as it sounds. It's not your Second Life type stuff, but it's surprisingly enjoyable.
The thing that I want to add with Sandbox, and this is why for me I think Illuvium stands way apart from everything else. And this is not shitting on any other project. It's just observations that I've made with like Sandbox. You've essentially in the market today, you have a direct competitor, which is Minecraft, and that's an established competitor. What happens when Microsoft decides to switch on the NFT thing with Minecraft? Who's actually going to win that fight? Is it going to be Sandbox or Minecraft? Like, and I don't know. I think that it's going to be Minecraft, or I think they have a very solid chance of taking over because they've already got that market share, just not in the NFT space. So that's the thing that I worry about with Sandbox. And again, I'm not saying it's a bad project. It's just something that I see. And same thing with like the Central Land. It's like, again, they're not bad projects, but there's nothing unique about its IP, its kind of style that someone else couldn't just come in and do it better and take over. Whereas Illuvium is like, no one really is doing it to that level right now in regards to the gaming side of things in NFT. Like in that it kind of stands apart that way. Whereas everyone else seems to have like a direct competitor in today's market already. And the only direct competitor to Illuvium is, let's say, TFT. And graphically, it's nowhere close. The gameplay depth is nowhere close already. So these are just things that I kind of think about when I think about Sandbox. I don't think it's not going to work. I just think that there's other things that we have to be aware of, or that I'm aware of at the very least. Yeah.
And I actually with the lag.
Everyone's just like quiet.
I love that the people in the chat are loving it though, so that's all that matters. But I think that's a very good idea, or I think that's a very good point that you made. And again, I don't want anyone to think that I don't think it's a great project. I mean, clearly it's a successful project and it's doing very well. And Scoriox, just for you, I'll give Minecraft VR a shot. I will. And it's just for what I think a big problem in the crypto gaming space right now is and I don't think anyone would disagree with this, that there's a huge divide between traditional gaming and Web3 gaming. And unfortunately it's due to the lack of knowledge. I think a lot of people don't really almost understand what the differences between blockchain gaming. And I think to get people to come into the space, we need games like Illuvium. We need those games where people are going to be excited just to play it. It doesn't matter if they're making money. I mean, that's just a bonus. But I mean, for these experiences, these metaverse experiences, I mean, yeah, it's going to be great to be able to earn money in them. But eventually, if they're not fun, then, people aren't going to play them. And I see that as a huge problem. And a lot of people in the gaming industry, when I was in the traditional game industry, this is still a problem, the loot box systems. So people think that loot boxes are very predatory, where in these mobile games, you're spending money on assets that, they're not real assets, and you're playing a game and all these microtransactions end up adding up to $100. And at the end of the day, you don't really have anything to show for it. And I think the big difference between Web3 gaming and Web2 gaming is, loot boxes are not the same principle. Because when you have the ability to sell your assets when you're done playing the game, I mean, that's huge. It's you can't make the same argument that it's gaming companies are being predatory, and especially with a gaming company like Illuvium, and something that got our attention immediately over at Alpha Origins and Pluto Alliance was the fact that Epic Games is not a publicly traded company, and a lot of people don't know that. You actually can't buy stock in Epic Games, and it's a multi-billion dollar company. It's a massive company, and everyone wants a piece of it because gaming is the biggest entertainment industry in the world right now. It dwarfs every other entertainment industry. And for Illuvium to offer not only some, but 100% of the revenue that they make to their token holders, that is truly game changing. Because here is a solution to a problem in the gaming industry that is going to bring traditional gamers into Web3. And not only that, but everyone's going to be able to share in the success of the project. I mean, that is truly huge. I mean, revenue share is such an incredible utility.
Yeah. There's a lot to say. I do want to go into Starship Universe a little bit more as well, because I have seen the trailer. It looks pretty crazy. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about the project and what it's about?
I actually haven't heard about this, so I'm keen to hear this.
Of course. So I've been playing for about a year now. We started with a game called where you send your ships out and you mine planets, and it's a passive game. You're essentially making your NFTs and you are being rewarded in Kyanite. And when you are however long you want to send out your ships, you receive rewards for that. So it's a play to earn that we've been really passionate about. And they actually built a second game, which is, instead of just a play to earn, it's an entire metaverse. And so the trailer, guys, if you have not seen the trailer, go look at it. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, unreal. If you guys know about Illuvium, I mean, aware of how incredible Unreal Engine 5 is and the capabilities of the engine. So it's going to be insane. So what their goal is very similar to what Scoriox, you were just saying about Sandbox. They are allowing other communities to come in and build within their ecosystem. So that's why we're so excited, because you guys remember No Man's Sky? That might be a bad example because No Man's Sky had its problems, but it's very, very much, very much No Man's Sky, where it's universe where you are exploring other planets, where you are mining resources, finding treasures. So, and you are flying through the universe in a spaceship, and all these other communities are going to be able to build their land on different planets. Oh, he's got the trailer up.
Are we going to watch the trailer full screen?
Yeah, we can't do the sound because then it's going to duplicate all of our sounds.
Right. Okay.
But we'll just take a quick brief look at it. It does look really good, and they've actually polished it quite nice. Some of the reflectiveness is freaking ridiculous.
Crazy.
No surface is that reflective, but this is a bit of like an alpha beta thing.
Crazy. Yeah. I've never seen this before. This is so interesting.
Straight alpha, guys. This is a huge project.
I'll get a wax wallet after this.
Yeah, what blockchain is this on?
So it's really interesting because another thing that I feel like it's not talked about a lot. Crypto Stash talks about this a lot, but Wax is one of the biggest blockchains in play to earn gaming right now. It dwarfs Ethereum for volume. It has more than any other blockchain. What's really incredible about it is it has some real partnerships, like we're talking Warner Brothers, Nickelodeon, Sony, like PlayStation, and as well as Capcom, which is another big gaming company. And there's more as well, but there's these huge names that are building on Wax, and it's because it is it was awarded for being the best NFT platform and one of the most used NFT platforms. And it's definitely it's stake, and you definitely some of this actual game footage, guys, is just insane. I mean, it's the experience that they're building on this is incredible. And if you haven't heard of Wax, definitely check it out. It is the biggest blockchains in the NFT space.
Yep. And you say you've been playing it for a year, is that right?
Almost a year now. So Starship NFT again is a very passive game. You're sending your ships in and you are collecting kyanite. And what I really like and I feel really interesting is similar to what Illuvium is doing with land. The land is producing the fuel that the people are going to the overworld. And Starship Universe is doing something very similar. So any kyanite you earn in Starship is going to be used in Starship Universe.
Yep, not fair play.
So I just want to quickly look at something, because I think this is a really interesting thing that we should have a really brief discussion about. Illuvium has made a big point that they're generating all of their own assets. Now, Unreal Engine has something called the Mega Scans Library. What this is 10,000 things that Epic Games has created for people to put into their games. And I'm looking at another Unreal Engine game called Satisfactory here. My favorite games. If you guys haven't seen it, it's a lot of fun. But you look at all the rock faces and you look at the trees and grass and everything like that. And I think the similarity is uncanny. So what they've done is they've pulled assets from the Epic Games library and they're including it in their game. I think Illuvium has this advantage where they're making their game look about as unique as they can. And there's nothing wrong with this process. This process is its own thing, and I'm glad that people are using these things, but eventually I feel like it will have to be upgraded into their own assets at some point. What do you think about that, Reptar?
Absolutely, man. I think that point. A lot of developers on Unreal have access to pre-made assets, and this can be very helpful for a developer like myself. Grass is a very it takes a lot of time to make nice grass. It really does. And sometimes it's really easier to use pre-made grass, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when you walk into a world like Illuvium and you see plants that you've never seen before, you see crystals it's just, what is this? It is truly like unknown. I definitely think that is going to separate Illuvium from the rest of the pack. That's why we're so bullish on, because I mean, I see a pure gamer perspective, like how incredible this project really is, but I also see it from a crypto and an investing side. So this project truly has like the best of both worlds.
Yeah, no, I agree. Illuvium to me looks like a like straight out of a Disney film. Like it really does. It's pretty. I love the stylistic approach that they've taken. But with the other stuff, it's like, I completely understand the convenience of using pre-made assets, and I think it's going to be fine when we start. But I think, like to Scoriox's point, as time goes by, say we're 3, 4, 5 years into it, and if everyone's using like the same asset, I think we're going to get bored of it as consumers. We're just going to get bored of it. So it might work at the beginning, but like I say, 3, 5 years down, I think they're going to need to change it. I mean, you could use a pre-used asset. I don't know too much about it, but is it possible to use a pre-used asset and then modify it? Is that a thing that's possible? Because that might be it's like a shortcut instead of doing it from scratch. But I don't know if that's a possibility or not. I'm not a developer. Yeah, I'm just a YouTuber.
That's all right. No, that absolutely is possible. Developers actually do it all the time. It's so you don't want to steal anyone's code. That's illegal. But you do see a lot of instances where people kind of borrow code, they modify it, they kind of learn from other people's code. Is what we really try to do in the dev world. You learn how to make things better and easier, and but I completely agree with you that people will get bored. You know what I mean? If you're seeing the, like you said, the same things in every Unreal Engine experience, it's definitely you're going to want something new. And what I think is incredible about Illuvium is it really is something new. It's, and it's everything from the assets to the environment to the battle system is really just AAA quality.
Oh my God. Yo, please put that up. Yo, please bring that.
He was on that.
Yo. Oh my God.
So we'll move on to
undefeated.
We'll move on to the giveaway now. For those of you in the chat, you're probably already familiar with the process, but I'll go through it really quickly. We have 100 USD to give away. Maybe Reptar has a Starship Universe something to give away too. You never know. But basically what we'll do is Reptar will ask the audience a question, and then he will basically pick the best answer. It can be whatever you want. What's your favorite color? What's your favorite alluvial? What did you have for breakfast this morning? Anything you want, okay? Throw it out to the community. They'll give us their answers, and then you'll pick a winner. They'll win 100 USD. That is it. You can only pick one winner, just so we're clear.
Yes. Oh, we have to say that every time now.
Okay, I got a really good question. So, Pluto Alliance, I want to know what your favorite alien is, guys, from pop culture. Your favorite pop culture alien.
That's a very good question, man.
I can't be picked, but I'm going to put an answer in there anyways.
I mean, we can share. We just talk between ourselves. We can talk. I'm gonna say one, and I want to hear what you guys say as well. I'm gonna say Superman. I'm gonna say Superman.
Superman's
a gangster answer.
He's the most popular.
He is an alien. He is an alien, right? He is pretty gangster.
Yeah,
I think Superman is just dope. But what do you guys reckon? What would you say?
I'd probably have to say the Dalek. The Dalek's a fun one.
Nice.
That's from
Doctor Who.
Okay, I was gonna say I'm so uncultured. I was gonna say Star Trek.
Doctor Who. Basically, they took a bin. They took like a bin and like stuck a bunch of stuff to it, and they made this really janky looking alien because there was no CGI. But it's wild. It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
What about you, Reptar? What's your favorite alien?
Just real quick off topic. It's funny you said CGI because when people talk about how we faked the moon landing, you know what CGI looked like back in the 80s. All right, it was not good. It was not good, guys. So
yeah, we debunked conspiracy theories.
My favorite alien. So by far my favorite alien has to be Roger from American Dad.
Yeah, no, that's a solid pick.
Hilarious.
That's a solid pick. Yeah, and now I'm thinking about it. There's so many in Star Wars as well, right? Like there's so many. It's so hard to just pick that one. But yeah, Predator, obviously. Jar Jar Binks.
Right, we'll go on to a Pluto Alliance question first, I think, before we pick a winner, because we've only got 3 answers so far. But if you want to pick one of these, that's cool too. But we'll just quickly jump into Pluto Alliance. So you talked about the
Scoriox, do you want to address that the silent stage question real quick before we?
Yeah, let's do it. How do you think Illuvium will garner the interest of the mainstream gaming audience? Kieran seems confident millions of people will be playing the overworld. Well, firstly, marketing is a big thing here to me. What do you think, TSG? I'll let you guys handle this one.
Yeah, I'm keen to get Reptar's take on it first, being the guest and all.
Yeah, Reptar, what do you think?
Touch up on it.
Oh, put me on the spot, guys. I think it's a great question, and it's something that I'm sure a lot of people are concerned about because, as we talked about earlier, there is a divide between traditional gaming and Web3 gaming. The difference, and the reason I think that millions of people will be playing Overworld, and why Kieran is absolutely correct is because this is a game where what I've noticed in this space is some games you're making money by playing, but they're not fun. And if you took away like the ability to earn, I guess, everyone would stop playing the game and nobody would have interest in it anymore. And that's true for tons and tons of blockchain games. Illuvium is I can confidently say Illuvium is the only game where I think people are going to enjoy playing it regardless of if they're earning or not. I truly think it is going to get the attention of traditional gamers because it doesn't look like a blockchain game. It plays like a true game. And what's really incredible is that, you know, there is the free to play aspect. So you're able to, you don't have to spend a lot of money to play these games, and, you know, you're still able to enjoy yourself. So I think huge part, and the partnership with GameStop, that's probably not going to hurt either.
Yeah. For me, I think with Web3 gaming, there's three real things that we should be trying to hit on with a Web3 gaming project, and that is fun. Is the game going to be fun? How does it look? And the possibility to earn. And I think the problem was with a lot of other gaming projects, they focus on the third one, the possibility to earn, and they let the graphics and the fun on the back end. Whereas it looks like Illuvium is going the other way. They're putting the possibility to earn at the very bottom of the list. And honestly, I couldn't even say if they're putting fun or bless you, if they're putting fun or the graphics at the top end. And I think it's because of that, like you say, exactly like you say. If you were to put it once Illuvium Overworld is out in the world, if I was to put Fortnite on one screen and Illuvium on the other screen, and if someone didn't know what Fortnite was, and you asked them which one is a AAA game, I would probably lean towards Illuvium. Not saying Fortnite is bad, but they've got their own style. But it's just Illuvium looks much better, right? If you put a GTA and Illuvium next to each other, you say which one is a AAA game, you would have a hot, like, it'd be obvious it's GTA, but you'd kind of understand that they're both of a really good quality. Whereas if you put, again, not shitting on it, just being objective, if you put an Axie Infinity and a GTA, it's very, very clear which one is actually AAA, right? So I think having that already, it means that consumers that are playing Web2 games aren't going to feel like they're downgrading to Web3. It's going to feel like, oh, they're kind of staying true to what they're used to anyway. And I think that's going to be super, super helpful to actually onboarding those millions of players. But also, I think that's going to, I know Scoriox is super bullish. I think it's going to take a bit of time to do that, just because I won't say I understand. My thesis is that onboarding takes time, and it's a slow process. It's a gradual process. But I mean, if we hit 1 million in a couple of months, I'm not going to complain either.
I think we're going to hit 1 million a lot faster than that. I think the one thing you can't really underestimate is something like marketing.
Yeah.
So just for a quick side note, I looked at the Illuvium trailer again today. And it has 1 million views on it.
Yeah.
Obviously, that doesn't mean we're going to have 1 million players, but just to show that it reached 1 million views, even given all the crypto downturns and things like that, it's done well. Obviously, I think it's gonna do really well. I am bullish. I think we can't underestimate marketing. There's a lot going on. There's going to be a lot of different games pointing to Illuvium. I'm sure every new crypto game and their mum are going to be like trying to partner with Illuvium to get coverage and stuff like that as well. I think it will spread quickly. I think once someone catches on, it's done. It'll spread.
Yeah.
What do you think, Reptar?
I was gonna say, I just want to add one thing real quick. I also think it doesn't hurt that every single channel that does like a top 5 or top 10 games in crypto has Illuvium in the top 2 spots. Like, I don't think that hurts Illuvium at all. So anyone coming into the space that looks into those lists, seeing Illuvium number 1 or number 2 every single time, and seeing that consistently definitely shows that it's not like a shield project, that it actually deserves to be there. Whereas, like, there are other lists that you'll see, like a random project being in the top 3, and you're like, man, I've only seen a top 3 in this one video, so there's a chance it might be shield. But if you're seeing it consistently in every video, You're like, all right, it should be there. It's warranted to be there. But yeah, your thoughts, Reptile. Sorry.
No worries, guys. I completely agree. I think that a lot of projects. I mentioned one of the comments. There's a lot of people claiming that they're going to do the same thing, and this is not a small task. This is a huge project and undertaking that they are, trying to accomplish. And what's really comforting to see is just the fact they are constantly leaking to their community, constantly doing everything that needs done. And during the land sale, I mean, the land sale sold out. And I mean, we all know, raised $72 million, which is incredible for just the first part of the land sale. And I think that is a testament to how well this game is going to be, or how going to be. And, just when I see things like the dedication of the team, I mean, they are constantly doing interviews, they are constantly leaking information, they are constantly building to make the best product that they possibly can. And I can truly say that is a very rare thing in the NFT space, to see the kind of passion from not only the team but the community. When you look at just all the interviews and stuff about look up Illuvium on YouTube and so much pops up, because it, like you said, it has not only the backing of the team and just but the backing of the community who really believes in it.
Yo, am I back? Did I disconnect?
Yeah, you're back.
You just
I was trying to
all around the screen.
Yeah, I was trying to promote our channels and they just took me off. No. All right, cool. Yo, before we move on to the next thing, Reptar, pick a winner, man. Well, what did you think? And you can't say Superman. You can say I was the winner.
I actually
Someone said Yogi Bear.
guys, I actually am. I already have decided the winner. I gotta go find the name real quick. Know what the post is. So, Daddy, the aliens Arrival. And
okay,
that was good. If you guys haven't seen Arrival, that is an incredible movie.
Yeah, groovy, Daddy. Congrats, man. You know what to do. Hit me up on DMs on what's it called? Discord. Yeah, hit me on Discord and I'll sort you out a bit later once I'm done with all this. But congrats, man.
All right. We'll take the reins again, and we don't have too much time left. We do try to keep them under an hour.
And also, Reptile's dial-up has an hour limit. So once that's done, it cuts him.
I'm never going to live this down.
Yeah.
But we will quickly jump over to some Pluto Alliance chat. But I want to direct it more towards NFT Utility. So we have discussed briefly what the Pluto Alliance is. I don't know when the revenue distribution from ad revenue actually begun, or how long it's been for, or what their systems and stuff are. I'd like to explore that utility and how it all works, because I feel like that applies to things like Illuvium that are trying these systems.
Yeah, and I think I did speak Pluto Alliance here. However, the utility for revenue distribution is relatively new. I would say this is that they've been doing it. So essentially, the way that it works is there's different races of aliens. We have Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, etc. And the planets get a higher percentage of the revenue share. So 100% of all YouTube revenue generated by Bitboy Crypto goes back to the holders of Pluto Alliance. And last month, or the month before last, the black holes were called. They're one of the rarest They're one of the rare. Every month they call a new planet. So those holders of that planet will then split the revenue share. So the revenue share between $40,000 to over $100,000 sometimes. So to put that into perspective, if there's only, let's say, 400 Mars, then 400 people split that $100,000. So it's been a really incredible utility, and I think any project that is offering revenue share is something worth looking at, because there's so many NFTs with so many different utilities, and it doesn't seem like a lot of them are very strong, to be honest. And when I find an NFT that's like, if you buy this NFT, you're gonna get paid to hold it. Those are the ones that and I understand that some YouTubers might not have some people have their own opinions about certain YouTubers, but the reality of it is one of the biggest YouTubers and on YouTube, and the excuse me, the rev share from the AdSense is an incredible utility, and so many people have already made their money back essentially from it. So it's been really to see like Illuvium, they're sharing.
Yeah. So I just want to ask two questions. One, when did the rev sharing, I think that's what you're calling it, the rev sharing for the Pluto Alliance, when did that actually start? And the second question is kind of a spin-off, but like, so we've seen the revenue sharing in, like you say, in Illuvium, in Pluto Alliance, even like in royalties for music. I'm curious, what are some other utilities that you're seeing that NFTs have had that maybe the masses haven't caught up to yet? Or what are some NFT utilities that you would like to see in the future that haven't really been developed like that, or they are being developed?
So I guess to answer that, the second part, what utilities I really want to see in the space, aside from the revenue share, because again, that's huge. I mean, the ability to buy something and have it perpetually pay you is what I really want to see is more of like access passes, almost, where you're earning the ability to enter different metaverses, or you're getting certain privileges, and different accesses, like almost like a VIP card, where it's like, and that's really because they're working on doing something like that with V2 for Pluto Alliance. They are doing a cruise where 120 holders are going to be able to go on an all expense paid cruise with the rest. I think those kind of almost cool kid passes that they're gonna give out and let people get into different projects or whatever they decide to do with it. I think that's a really big deal, because it lets people feel like they're a part of it.
Yeah, I think the dial-up is ending. I'm just like, yo, that's yeah. No, I get you. I get you. Yo, Scoriox, I'm keen. What is an NFT utility that you think is going to pop off in the next, I don't know, let's say 6 months to a year, 2 years?
Honestly, I have the boring answer. Supply chain is a freaking huge one. Obviously, not many gamers and stuff are going to profit from it. But I think things like that are extremely important. There's so much compliance and stuff you have to go through for these sorts of things, and stuff like supply chain is going to be a really big deal in the future. Things like movie tickets and stuff, I think, are going to be a little bit more of a novelty, even though they'll be highly useful. But yeah, just the other thing is things like real estate and stuff like that are going to be a really big deal.
Although I think that's going to be time away, though. I think real estate's going to take a bit more time.
Yeah, and NFTs are a weird one because they're very black and white. If you hold the NFT, you hold it. If you don't hold the NFT, you don't hold it. And I think that is more of a burden than a benefit to a lot of potential avenues for it. For example, if your house deed or whatever gives you ownership of the property was held inside the NFTs, as soon as your wallet's stolen, you're screwed, right? So I think there's a lot of inherent risk with NFTs, and I feel like there's a lot of places that it maybe shouldn't be involved with. But at the same time, that there's so much it can do.
Yeah, I think the thing for me, which again, it might be again like I think the different uses of revenue distribution or revenue sharing is definitely the thing that excites me. Before I've talked about music on this channel before, I'm super excited about that. But I think the thing that's actually going to onboard a lot of people is actually just like memberships, like just general memberships that we use already. Like for example, a gym membership. Because like right now, say I have a gym membership. In China, it's slightly different. I don't know what it's like in around the world, but like in most countries, I know in Australia, if I have a gym membership and I stop going, I can't sell my membership to someone else. It's just like it's just gone. I wasted. Whereas if that's now an NFT, if you stop going to the gym, because most people do, they can sell it to someone else who is getting on that hype. They can earn some money back. The person gets the utility, and the gym still makes perpetual royalties. So that's a thing that could happen. I think that's going to onboard a lot of like non-crypto users. I think that's going to be a thing. But even for like restaurants or something like that, if you have our membership here, you get like a free thing every time you dine with us, or you get a consistent 10% off, whatever it is, like things like that. For me, that's where I'm kind of seeing the next. I'm interested in seeing how that plays out. I won't say it's the most exciting thing, but I'm excited to see how it plays out in the future, for sure.
Yeah, I really like what you said.
Does Reptar have to say anything?
I really like what Scoriox was saying about the supply chain thing, because that's a map right now. I know this because the silicone shortage that's going on with like microchips and computer parts. The supply chain right now is just horrendous. It is just awful, and there are so many problems with it. And I think I heard mention this on another stream chain is one project that I am looking into a lot, because they are very promising for managing the supply chain. They've already, I think it was 500,000 tons of plastic they were able to back in the oceans and remove from the ocean. So right there just shows that it's a system that can track millions of things at once, and it can scale, and it is actually going to offer a solution to what is a really big problem in the world. So, Illuvium is a great, is probably, I would say, the greatest investment in crypto gaming right now, but there are tons of other and problems in the world that need to be solved. Yeah. And some of these cryptocurrencies really are the solution, or a solution.
Yeah.
I think we'll leave it on just one last thing. I think I've got to ask this to everyone in the audience. Is Pluto a planet?
Yo, wow.
Oh, guys,
wow,
this is a war going on Discord right now. Believe it.
Yo, wildness.
You never answered.
So what's the answer, Reptar? Time to make some enemies.
So Pluto is in our soul, and I'm gonna get a lot of heat for this, but Pluto is a planet, and they are fighting back. All right, we have sent a long letter to Tyson and the scientific community, and we're starting a war with this one. So Pluto is a planet, guys.
All right, yo, and last one. Yo, is the Earth flat? No, I'm playing. Let's end it. Let's end it, guys.
All right. So big thanks, Reptar, for joining us today. The Earth is obviously flat. All right, it's been a lot of fun. All the links down in the description. Alpha Origins Discord is down there too. Go check it out. They chat about some pretty cool stuff. They're investing in Illuvium land, so we love that, obviously. A big thanks to Illuvium again for sponsoring the show. Again, go check out the Illuvium channel. Now you can start to go check it out because the stream is ending. And they've got awesome stuff over there. All that, like the art direction and stuff. I'm actually only halfway through it, but I'm excited to get to the end of it. But yeah, Illuvitar is going to be pretty huge. I actually have quite a bit of SRV2 now. Not financial advice, obviously. But I'm going to be getting as many packs as I can because I plan on giving away some. And I'm sure Reptar is going to be giving away some too. So at some point. So yeah, so that's really exciting. I might have to start looking to Starship Universe. If I enjoy it, maybe I'll stream it on the channel. A lot of questions have come out of this. Let's put it that way. So TSG, any closing thoughts you want to say?
Nah, man. Appreciate you being here, Reptar. Again, it's always good to have the podcast and bring people like you on, talking about things that I have no idea about. So, I appreciate you. Honestly, thank you so much.
No, guys, thank you. I really appreciate it. I had a lot of fun. Next time we'll get the updated for you guys. Get vaccinated. The Earth is round, and Pluto is a planet.
Oh man, dispelling